Well, we got pretty good flow coming out of our pipe. About what we expected. And the overflow is flowing pretty well. Although I have to admit, I really expected it to be a little heavier because of the snow melt and all the rain we had for the last couple of days. I'm kind of surprised that it's not actually flowing heavier than this. But we can see from the erosion around our little culvert here that it was flowing a lot heavier a couple days ago than it is now. So it's slowed down quite a bit in the last few days. Well, the pond doesn't look much different than when we were out here a couple weeks ago. That's nice. At least the heavy flow didn't do any more damage to the spillway over here. It would be my suspicion that if this pond survived to this point through the spring, that this probably will establish a low point for this. And we're going to work on it a little more this summer. See if we can improve it over here in this end.
Dig all that silt out of it.
Yeah, we got to dig all the silt out of this entrance point. This water is pretty clear. You can just look right down through there and see all that silt that flows into it from this entrance point. Here we are down towards the other end of our property with the two rocks and the water that flows out from underneath them, and it's just flowing along here pretty good. Just going right down this little low spot. Pretty much same old, what it's done all winter.
Over here, where we saw that wet spot in the snow, we can see it's running right from the stone wall.
Yeah, a little stream running right through there. All just coming down this side hill.
And look here.
Just behind these two rocks, you can see on the grass where it was flowing really heavy, but it's still flowing right now. It's coming right down that rut there in four-wheeler trail. Well, we're going to take a little walk up this trail, see if we can see any other areas where water is flowing, try to come up with a strategy to divert this water somehow. Nice little rub right here. Maybe we'll be lucky and find some dropped antlers while we're out here today. That'd be pretty cool. Looks like we got a widowmaker right here. Pretty good sized one. Hung up in that other tree. That's been there a while too. Not very much bark left on it. And right underneath it, somebody had a camp around here at some point in time. They forgot to take their box stove, their pipe, and their hibachi home with them. That's a nice little mess I'm going to have to pick up now. And also, you notice a little farther up the trail here, off to the left, over in there we got some cattails coming up, but those cattails are not on my property because we're right on the line here. In fact, this stone wall here, if you can see it in the video, that's my property line. So I am glad to say that those aren't on my land.
Right through here, one of the hardest spots on the trail is a four-wheeler. This all stays wet, pretty much. And right here, what's left of this tree here, angles up in your handlebars when your front wheel hits this here. And of course, you almost get frame hung. So this is one of the more technical spots in the trail. Could move it, but then it wouldn't be any fun.
We've been coming up this trail here, which follows the stone wall, which borders the property. And it diverges here, and we're going to head off to the right. So we came for a walk in the woods, and we found where the path diverges. Now we're going to take the one less traveled. We think that'll make all the difference. And it did. This is what we found. This is quite the little pond right here. I don't know if it's a pond really or just a puddle. But regardless of what it is, there's water running out of it. And we've been kind of keeping our eye on it as we came up that trail that's to our right. And it runs right down here, and it runs all the way down to where it looks like it's coming under those two rocks down in the meadow. So we may be able to do something with this. I don't know. We're going to have to check this out later in the year. See what happens here. See how this behaves.
It stays wet all year. It does dry up quite a bit, but usually there's cattails standing right there in that little circle.
So I don't know. I mean, it's a natural bowl right in this area.
I've never seen it running like this, but it's always wet right there.
I'm thinking we might be able to dig a swale right here, kind of follow this path we came in on, or maybe angle it downhill a little bit, and maybe we can send it over into all those cattails I saw coming up. I don't know. We'll kind of have to we'll watch it for a while, see how it behaves. It'd be nice to divert this away from the meadow. I also found this old tree, what's left of it, kind of a tall stump. It's kind of cool because underneath it, it looks like there's a little burrow. There's some kind of animal that lives in there. Kind of neat. Nice place for a possum or a fox or something to live. We found this tree that fell down this winter in the trail we're on. It's a pine tree, and this is the top of it here. But I've been thinking about building a canopy for the camper so I don't have to keep dealing with that tarp. And this one is nice and straight. Look at that. That's perfect. I can get a lot of poles out of this. I don't know yet how long I need each pole to be, but I can get a good chunk of them out of this one tree. That might be a nice project here for this summer, to cut this into the sections I need and get them out of here. That's kind of exciting. And to the right of it, there's another one that come down. You can see the top of it here.
That was last spring.
Oh, that's been there a while. Well, yeah, that one's all brown, as where this one is still green. I'll go over and take a look at that one. This is the other side of it. It's hard to tell just how straight this one is. Let's see if we can't get a little different angle. Well, here it is. That doesn't look too bad. Nice. Yeah, nice and straight. As a matter of fact, it's, well, both these trees at the bottom are quite a bit bigger than what I really need. They're both about the same. If I had to guess, I'd say that's got to be 10 to 12 inches in diameter down here at the butt end of them. Got another blowdown over in there. It's like a poplar tree. Looks pretty big. And if we keep going, there's another one hung up here. They all look nice and straight though.
But behind that root ball, it's overturned. That one's pretty straight too.
Now these blown down trees are just off the trail that we've been on, but it comes and intersects back with this trail here that goes down to where I explained about the mound system that we're going to have possibly put in. So we kind of just made a big loop. And up here there's a little knoll right up in this area. And we took a little walk up in there, and it's fairly dry up in there compared to all the wetness that we've seen around us. And this is the time of year where we're going to see most of the wet ground. And right up there is nice and dry, so that might be a good spot to put up a house.